The banquet hall shimmered with alien opulence. Its walls were formed from translucent crystal, veins of light pulsing gently through them like a living heartbeat. Human Lieutenant Jason Hale adjusted the stiff ceremonial collar of his borrowed uniform, feeling as though every eye in the hall weighed on him. And in a way they did. He was the only human among hundreds of towering insectoid nobles, diplomats and soldiers. They were the Verathi, the most feared warrior species in the galaxy, and tonight's gathering was in honor of their queen. Jason had never expected to be here. He had been a scout pilot, not a diplomat. But after a desperate skirmish against a Verathi raiding fleet, Jason's quick thinking had saved not only his ship but the Verathi flotilla as well, intercepting a third-party ambush from pirates. The act earned him something rare. An invitation to the Queen's court. That invitation felt more like being led into the lion's den. The Queen herself entered at last, and the hall fell silent. She was unlike the others. Nearly 7 feet tall, her exoskeleton shimmered a deep violet, edged with gold. Her crown was not a jewel but a natural crest of hardened ridges, elegant yet sharp enough to cut steel. Her compound eyes shimmered like galaxies, intimidating yet strangely beautiful. Jason hadn't intended to speak to her directly. Humans and Verathi relations were fragile, built more on deterrence than trust. But fate had other plans. The joke that changed everything. When the Queen approached him, every noble leaned in to hear. "You are the human who risked his life," she said. Her voice a resonant echo that carried like 1,000 chimes. "Unusual. Few of your kind would have aided us." "Why?" Jason, trying to ease the tension, shrugged. "Well, you looked like you needed help. And besides," he paused, smirking nervously, "I thought maybe saving the Queen would earn me a medal. Or I don't know, maybe your hand in marriage. You'd make a cute wife." The hall went deathly silent. Jason blinked. He had meant it as a throwaway joke, a nervous quip. But every alien eye in the room froze on him, their mandibles twitching in shock. And then the Queen spoke. "I accept." The hall erupted in chaos. Nobles clashed their forelimbs, voices rising in outrage. Jason's heart nearly stopped. Wait, what?" he stammered. The Queen's eyes fixed on him. "You have made the proposal. In our law, before the entire court, I have accepted. Do you deny your word, human?" Jason's blood ran cold. Among Verathi, honor was sacred. Denying a sworn word could be seen as betrayal. He forced a nervous laugh. "I was kidding. Just a joke." But her expression did not change. "Joke or not, it was witnessed. You would shame me before my people if you withdraw." Jason's mind spun. He had just accidentally proposed to the alien queen of the deadliest warrior race in the galaxy. And she had said yes. A dangerous engagement. The days that followed were a blur. Jason was no longer treated as a guest, but as the chosen consort of the queen. Guards escorted him everywhere. Courtiers whispered. He was given chambers of polished crystal and fed delicacies that sometimes twitched on the plate. The Queen, her name was Xylaris, summoned him often. "You did not expect this," she observed one night, her voice softer, almost curious. Jason chuckled dryly. "That's one way of putting it. Back home, I never thought I'd be betrothed to someone who could crush me with one hand." Her mandibles clicked in what might have been amusement. "Strength is revered among us. Yet you are small, fragile. Why, then, do I sense you are not afraid?" Jason thought for a moment. "Because I've seen what fear does. It makes enemies where there don't have to be. I'd rather try trust first." Her gaze lingered on him for a long time. Despite himself, Jason began to see beyond her armored exterior. She ruled with ruthless efficiency, but there was a loneliness in her eyes. As queen, every word she spoke was law, every gesture a command. No one dared treat her as an equal. No one until Jason. He teased her. He challenged her. He asked questions no one else would. And slowly, the impenetrable wall around her began to crack. The plot against them. Not everyone welcomed this union. Whispers spread that the queen had been bewitched by the fragile human. Nobles muttered that he was unworthy, that she was weakening by even considering him as consort. Jason overheard some of it. But one night, he discovered the danger was far greater. While wandering the crystal corridors, he stumbled upon two nobles arguing in hushed tones. "The human cannot be allowed to wed her," one hissed. "It undermines everything we are. He must die before the bonding ritual." Jason froze. He wasn't supposed to understand their tongue, but thanks to his ship's AI implant, he caught every word. He knew what that meant. Someone would try to kill him before the wedding. The thought chilled him, but when he told Xylaris, she did not seem surprised. "There are always those who oppose me," she said, her voice tight. "But if they strike at you, they strike at me. And that I will not allow." For the first time, Jason saw something raw in her gaze. Not just duty, not just politics, something closer to care. The trial of worth. The Virathi were not subtle. Assassination attempts came swiftly. Poisoned chalices, hidden blades, even a sabotaged gravity field in his chambers. Each time, Jason barely survived, often with the queen's personal intervention. Finally, the nobles forced her hand. "If the human is to be consort," one declared before the court, "then let him prove his worth. Let him face the trial, as any Virathi mate must." Jason gulped. Trial? What kind of trial? The queen's voice was like steel. Combat. Jason nearly fainted. The arena. The arena was a vast pit of glowing stone, ringed with chanting Virathi. Jason stood in the center, armed only with a short blade. Across from him loomed his opponent, a towering warrior, armored and armed with dual plasma-edged axes. Jason's legs trembled. He couldn't fight that. He wasn't a soldier. He was a pilot. But then he remembered something. Humans weren't just about brute force. They were about ingenuity. As the warrior charged, Jason dodged. Not with speed, but with unpredictability. He rolled through sand, used the arena walls, forced the giant to waste energy. Every time the warrior struck, Jason evaded just barely, turning the alien strength against him. The crowd roared. Finally, exhausted and enraged, the warrior overextended. Jason darted in and pressed the blade to the exposed joint at the warrior's neck. Silence. Then thunderous approval. The queen herself descended into the pit. "You have proven," she declared, "that worth is not in size but in spirit. You are my chosen." And for the first time, Jason realized she wasn't just saying it for the court. She meant it. A bond forged in choice. The bonding ritual was set. Jason had the chance to refuse to go home. But when the queen asked him quietly, "Do you regret your words that night?" he shook his head. "Honestly, well, I meant it as a joke. But now, I think maybe the universe has a twisted sense of humor. Because I can't imagine walking away." Her mandibles clicked softly, her version of a smile. The ritual was performed before the court. Jason and Xylaris exchanged vows, not just of loyalty, but of unity between species. The alien queen and the human pilot, bound not by accident but by choice.